If you're renting in Philadelphia right now and you've got this nagging feeling that you're throwing money away like every single month, but you're also terrified of buying at the wrong time, then this video is for you. What's up guys, Steve Buzogany, Philly's real estate agent, and today I'm going to be breaking down renting versus buying in Philadelphia in 2026. And I'm going to be telling you the straightforward, honest math, not the math that like Zillow wants you to see. I'm talking about like the real numbers, the stuff that costs people real money on a monthly basis, the money that nobody tells them about. So let's get into it. All right, so here's why I'm even making this video. The number one question I get from a first-time home buyer in Philadelphia is, Steve, am I crazy for buying right now? Should I just keep renting? And look, it's a fair question. Rates aren't as low as they were a few years ago. Prices have gone up. The news makes it sound like the sky is falling every single week. So instead of giving you my opinion, what I'm actually going to do is give you the actual math. I want to show you what renting really costs, what buying really costs, and the honest truth about which one actually wins, because the answer is different depending on who you are. So by the end, you'll know exactly where you stand. Let's talk about it. Number one, let's talk about renting. So right now in 2026, the average rent in Philadelphia is somewhere around $1,700 a month. Some neighborhoods are cheaper, but you can still find places, you can even still find places in like the Northeast or like parts of West Philly for even under like $1,500. And in some neighborhoods like Rittenhouse Square, or if you're in Fishtown, then you're easily paying for like, obviously $2,000 a month or more for like just like a one bedroom. So here's the thing that nobody actually likes to say out loud. When you rent, the money is gone. It's not bad. Like if you're paying for like a roof, you're paying for flexibility, that all has real value. But you're not building anything. So let me put a number on it. $1,700 a month is a little over $20,000 a year. So over 5 years, that's more than $100,000. So think about that. At the end of 5 years, if you're paying rent, you own nothing. There's no equity, there's no asset, there's nothing you can sell of any value to get back. It's just gone. If you want to talk about like someone who paid, for me, like when my great uncle passed away, he paid rent for like 50 years. And at the end of his life, there was nothing. It was just, okay, got to find a new tenant. That's what the landlord was saying. But for us, it's not like there was any assets for us that he left to anybody. So it affects your legacy that way too. So it's something you really need to think about. All right, let's talk about one more point. Rent doesn't stay flat. Philly rents have bounced around, but historically they do creep up over time. So $1,700 a month you pay today might be more like $1,900 or $2,000 in like a few years from now. So you have no control over that, just to mention that too. So that's the part that like people don't really advertise that a ton when it comes to renting. All right, number two, let's talk about the buying side of things. And I'm gonna be real straight with you on this one too. So, because most of the videos, they make this part sound like way easier than it actually is. So like, let's put it this way. The median home price in Philadelphia in 2026 is right around like $284,000. Let's use that. So if you're a first-time home buyer and you don't, first of all, you don't need 20% down. That's like a myth. You don't need it. You can do much less. Like with an FHA loan, you can put down as 3.5%, which on a $284,000 house is about $10,000-ish. If you're doing conventional, you do 5%, then you need a little bit more, like 14 grand-ish, 15 grand, something like that. So you don't need the full 20. Now here's where people get a little kind of caught off guard. So like, stay with me on this. Your mortgage payment is a couple of things, 4 things, PITI, so principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So what people do is they think it's just the money they borrowed, and there's some interest on that. That's your principal and interest, obviously, but today's rate, $1,700 a month, then you add in the property taxes, which probably like $350 a month, and then you add in the insurance, which is like another $100 or so. It could put, if your rent or if your mortgage was $1,700, it's actually more looking like $2,200-ish, $2,300, $2,400-ish. So you go from $1,700 to like $2,300. So that's $500 or $600 a month more, depending on where you buy, what the taxes are, and your insurance and stuff like that. So let's compare the two. Renting is $1,700, buying is like $2,200, $2,300. Buying costs you about $500 or $600 a month more every single month. So if you stop the math right there, you'd be like, cool, easy decision, renting wins, right? But that's exactly the trap that a lot of people fall into, because that's not the whole story. And that brings us to point number 3. Okay, so buying costs about $500 or more a month. And here's what that $500 actually is buying you. So let's talk about that amount. So, and the part that renting will never be able to give you this ever. So number one, every month, that a chunk of that mortgage payment is going to pay down your loan. That's called equity. That's you're improving your ownership stake in the house. Less money borrowed, more owned. So that money goes into your pocket, not the landlord's. It's your money in the future. It's your money in the future when you go to sell it. So in the early years, yeah, it's small, but it grows every single month and it never stops. So that's important. Number two, and this is like the big one in Philly, appreciation. When I first started selling homes in this business 14 years ago, homes in a lot of these neighborhoods were selling for like $300,000-400,000, and like now those like same homes in those same neighborhoods are selling for like $600,000. Some flirting with like 7, some even over 7. Now, I'm not promising that that's gonna happen again. Nobody can promise that, obviously. But even at a normal, boring pace, Philly homes go up like probably like 4% a year-ish. So on a $284,000 house, 4% is even, that's $11,000 a year in improvements. So like that 11 grand in value showing up, that's gonna show up while you sleep. So your rent does the opposite, by the way. Just an FYI, the rent just goes up and you pay more. So let's redo this math a little bit. So yeah, you're paying an extra $500 or $600 a month. That's, let's say 500 for easy math. That's $6,000 a year. But you're getting around 11,000 in appreciation, plus the few thousand in equity that you've built because you've been paying down the loan. So even after you subtract the maintenance and the boring stuff, you're coming out way ahead on this. So that $500 a month isn't actually a cost. It's an investment, it's a down payment in your future. Now, I also did promise you to be very straightforward on both sides of this. So buying only wins if you stay put. If you buy and then sell in 2 years, then the fees from like closing costs, it's gonna eat you alive. So rule of thumb, you generally wanna stay at least 5 years for the math to truly work in your favor. Zillow's own 2026 data says that the average home buyer breaks even around 6 years. Now, that's obviously not the case if you are buying here to live for a couple years and you have 100% decided with the full intention that you are going to turn that property into a rental property after you move out. You know, you're gonna live there for 2 years and you're moving out, but you're not gonna sell it. You're gonna turn it into a rental property. Totally different story there, because obviously you're going to maintain ownership. It will become a cash flowing asset for you. So that 5-year rule, just disregard that if you have the intention of making it an investment property afterwards, after your tenure there. However, if you're not going to make it an investment property, you're like, I'm gonna live here, and when I plan to move, I'm gonna sell it and then go buy something else. Do not sell it within like a year or two. Please plan to stay for 5 or 6 or 7 plus years. If you do know full well that you're just gonna be in Philly for like another year, then just rent. There's literally no shame in that. Like, there's no reason to buy. I know I've talked a lot about buying and how good it is for you financially, but there's no shame in renting if you're just gonna be here for a year. I mean, there's no reason to buy anything in that situation. All right, now real quick, I know I just threw a lot of numbers at you guys. If you guys wanna talk more about your specific situation in more detail, I'd be more than happy to talk to you guys about it in more detail. So just shoot me a text or an email, use my contact information below, and we can certainly get you on the calendar to talk about what you have going on. So, all right, let's keep going. Let's make this real straightforward and simple for you. So let's like forget all the spreadsheets and all that stuff for a second. Like, here's who should rent and who should buy. So you should keep, like, we'll make a little real easy decision for you. So you should keep renting if you're not sure if you're staying in Philly more than a couple of years. Your job might move you, or you just don't have the savings cushion yet for like a surprise repairs. And trust me, listen, in home ownership, the repairs do come. So here in Philly, we are the founders of America, if you will. A lot of these homes are like 100 plus years old. So if you buy an old Philly row home, you might fall in love with the charm and then meet a 100-year-old plumbing system right behind it. So, I mean, even my wife and I bought a new house, and in the first 3 months of owning it, I was taking a shower on the 3rd floor, my wife's on the 1st floor in the living room, and all of a sudden water comes pouring out of the smoke detector 3 floors down. So I'm like, this house is only 6 years old. What, 6? I'm having a problem with 6 years old. Some of these homes are over 100 years old. So guys, homeownership comes with problems. Everybody has to deal with them. Just because I'm a real estate agent doesn't mean I escape them either. So It happens to everybody, and there are things you just have to deal with. But anyway, so let's put it this way. If a $2,000 surprise attack from the house is gonna wreck you, then I would say rent a little longer, stack your savings. That's just the smart play for you in that situation. But you should be buying if you are planning on planting roots here for 5 years or more. You've got a little bit of a savings cushion, and you're tired of watching your rent just go up and up and up while your landlord builds wealth on your dime. So if that's you, then every month that you wait is a month of equity and appreciation that you are handing to somebody else. And that should infuriate you. So give me a call. Let's get out there and go buy something. All right, there you have it, guys. That's the straight up math on renting versus buying in Philadelphia in 2026. Renting isn't really throwing money away if you need the flexibility, but if you are gonna be staying put, buying is how you actually build wealth in the city. So, and the numbers do back that up. So the $500 a month or more, if you guys, as we mentioned earlier, it's not a cost, it's an investment in you. And if you are thinking about buying your first home here in Philadelphia, please feel free to reach out to me. Home ownership is so much more accessible than you think. So I'm certainly here and happy to help you make sure that you can realize that as well. So no pressure at all, no pitch. Just give me a call. We'll talk about your situation and we'll take it from there. So last but not least, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more Philly insights. And I'll see you guys on the next video.